In an effort to support and promote the stream that Drunk 3PO is hosting on February 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a special video highlighting some of the issues this world is facing, and I'll be doing that for Monday. Originally, I had planned to drop that video today instead, but I figured that this would be more appropriate for a Monday release. So, instead, today we are focusing on what to expect from this year's Super Bowl and why I think it'll be the barometer for sports going forward for at least the next year. Maybe 2 or 3 in advance. So, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino!
No one has to tell you that sports in this country is big business. The 4 big professional leagues here are proof enough of that, obviously. The year 2020 was a nightmare for these leagues as they capitulated and kowtowed to a lying social agenda initiative that was bent on not only their destruction, but dividing folks in just about every way possible. And it was doing all of this when we really needed to come together as a country. What better to unify around than sports? Well, apparently, let's not do that. Anyway, all the while, they found they were experiencing steep ratings declines, and they stopped multiple times and had several media outlets reframe the conversation to prevent advertisers from taking their business elsewhere. And let me tell you, that started to not work towards the end. The biggest event in sports, actually, in the United States at least, is the Super Bowl. And the worldwide audience, which is usually staggering for this particular event because it's not often seen in other countries. In fact, they see it more as a novelty. Just in the United States alone, there's 102 million people that watched last year's game. Pretty decent number. I expect this year to be down. There are many reasons for this, and if I'm wrong, I'll be okay with that. But to be honest with you, in this particular game, you're getting the GOAT, the greatest of all time in Tom Brady, and he should drive the ratings absolutely to the moon. After all, it's an opportunity to win a 7th ring. Yet, I think the writing's already on the wall as far as ratings go for this game. And we can certainly talk about that. You see, even the experts right now are seeing a downward trend for sporting events and for the Super Bowl specifically. People are tired of being preached at about things that are not true on a very large scale, and no rational person sees the world as it's being presented in the mainstream media. Not to mention other countries are laughing at us by the way that we're being dragged around by our nose by, narrative events that aren't entirely true. The most coveted thing for a corporation, after all, is their Super Bowl commercial spot. I mean, come on, all the big boys try to play there, and if you're a new company trying to make a splash, that's where you're headed. The greatest reach, because of the audience size, is achieved there. It's not only achieved there, it's achieved in other locations when you're trying to find that commercial again, and or you'll see people searching for it online. In fact, you can do so now. Many of the ads are already out there. They have to be dazzling. They have to be stunning in order to be considered successful. They have to be clever. Yet many of the spots that I've seen this year, because I've seen some of the early release clips, I've found to be full of preachy garbage, and they have plenty of agenda-driven optics too, if you're paying attention. So just be prepared if you watch the game and or the commercials, or both. So if the most important thing to the network that's hosting the Super Bowl is selling those coveted Super Bowl slots, why did the price go down for this year? Last year, a 30-second spot cost $5.6 million. This year, $5.5 million. This year, you actually get a $100,000 discount from the previous year? I think it all comes down to the tanking sports ratings, because they have been across the board. Many channels here actually on YouTube have been talking about it. The folks over at Geeks and Gamers with their sports channel, and Black and White Sports, as a matter of fact. And they're actually taking a look at the fact that all of these narratives that are being pushed around sports ratings are being framed in the most intellectually dishonest way possible. And it's not lost on us that you're trying to prop up these sports leagues, and most egregiously, the NBA. The NFL ratings, of course, have often been down, and often quite substantially. I think year to year they're down at least 7% at the most conservative, and up to 15 or 20% if you look more broadly. The championship games, which just recently happened, were actually the only small uptick that they've had in viewership throughout the entire playoffs, which is surprising. And that uptick actually was mischaracterized very terribly in the article that we're about to read. From said article, after the Super Bowl, the two conference championship games rank right behind the Super Bowl as the top-rated TV programs each and every year. In the NFC game, the championship game between Tampa Bay and Green Bay, there was another marquee matchup featuring two future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. This year, the NFC game was televised in an early window and averaged 44.8 million viewers on Fox. This was a 5% increase from the last year's NFC title game, which aired later in the day. Change in time slot. The AFC Championship game featured two younger quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Both of them are under the age of 26. The late window, of course, is when this aired, averaged an estimated 41.9 million viewers, with an uptick of 2% from last year's contest. So it actually didn't do quite as well. The two games had an average digital audience of 1.5 million for a 44.5 million total, an overall increase of 3% from 1 year ago. They also aren't telling you that Nielsen has started adding in the digital ratings. So anyway, we'll keep going. The audience delivery for these two title games is encouraging. The 2020-2021 year has been very difficult for premier sporting events. The ratings for the World Series, NBA Finals, and college football national championship game all reached record lows, and other popular TV sports reporting that they basically have had a sharp drop. A strong Super Bowl rating will be encouraging for TV sports heading into 2021. As you can see, they framed that in the best possible light, having to admit, however, that pretty much all of the premier events have started to nosedive, and they didn't say exactly how much, but again, quite substantially. What I find so amusing about this particular article that we just referenced, the 3 paragraphs that I read, is that there was really no competition for these championship games like the previous year, and they only managed a small bump at that. They also had the benefit of some things that they didn't have the benefit from in previous years as far as the numbers that were being counted. What's even more informative is the fact that betting is projected to fall off 37% or more versus last year. That's a lot. 37% to 40%. You're going from 1/3 to an even higher number. Losing over 1/3 of the betting interest is probably a sign that you're losing 1/3 of your audience, don't you think? I mean, if you have action on a game as a gambler, you usually want to watch the game, which is one of the reasons that sports has been so productive for television ratings, especially in the last several years. And we've legalized betting in more locations than ever, and yet these numbers are going down. I think there's 6 or 8 new states where it's legal. Insane. Actually, even Forbes is betting on the decline in sports viewership, and they are betting long-term through 2021 that it will continue to decline. At the same time, they make a lot of poor excuses in the article that I'm citing here. They make these excuses just like any other mainstream media outlet, and they, of course, everybody else is doing it for pretty much every reason that they can possibly think of. But in this case, obviously, fewer people are watching sports. And overall, the outlook for the viewership of the Super Bowl looks bad, at least to me. Now, of course, this is a prediction, and I could be wrong. I don't think I am. I don't see how, with all the factors at work here, the numbers are going to be any bigger than last year. In fact, last year was an uptick over the year previous, which had a decline. And that was a big deal. Kind of weird. The 2019 year was so odd. But anyway, like you said, it could be a huge Super Bowl. It could be. But I doubt it. So what do you think? Do you think the numbers are going to be bigger? Staggeringly so? Do you think they're going to beat 102 million people watching the game last year? I don't. I think you're going to be maybe the low 90s, maybe less. Again, 37% less money coming in to bet this game when there are more opportunities to legally do so. Not only that, there are a lot of people being surveyed right now that are saying they aren't even participating in their office pools. Insanity. But anyway, thank you so much for coming and checking out this video today. I truly appreciate it. Do not forget about Drunk 3PO's special charity event that is happening on February 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on his channel. I'm sure he'll have lots of special guests, and it is a cause that's near and dear to his heart, my heart, and many other folks out there. Be sure to support other independent creators as well. In fact, support my friend Final Death Star, who actually has recently changed his channel to Enter the Unfamiliar. He talks about a lot of things that not a lot of people talk about. So go check that out, throw him a subscription, watch some of his content, give him about 3 minutes or so of your time once or twice a week, and just check it out because he does a really good job, has some great contributors, and of course he's a really good guy and a member of Rogue Entertainment. Also, as I mentioned before, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for all the efforts you go to of hitting the like button and sending me a comment when you want to ask me questions about a video I'm doing, one that I might do in the future, or just a follow-up to the thing that, we were just talking about. So thank you. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. It really is. And until next time, bye. Hey there, one last quick note before I let you go, and before we make it to the end of this video. I, CultureCasino, have a brand new Teespring store. That's right, you can now go to Teespring, look up CultureCasino, or use the link in the video below, and pick out some handsome and beautiful CultureCasino merchandise with many different designs and styles and colors. Many different items. I was actually surprised at all of the things that you could create, and I have some more designs and items on the way here shortly. But, if you want to support the channel in that way, there is some merch. Otherwise, here comes the ending. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.